President Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, is at it once again. So Volodymyr Zelenskyy is the president of Ukraine. If you didn't know, Russia invaded Ukraine. Like, I feel like it's been over a year now, right? And you might be thinking, well, why does that matter? Why does it, Well, it's because the United States of America is spending money, right? I'll speak for when Biden was president, right? Like, the United States was helping Ukraine fight against Russia, right? So our money is going towards this war, whether you feel it every day or not. The wallets and the money is feeling it. Okay, boom. But now that Donald Trump is the president, he does not seem to be very much on the Ukraine side, right? Keep in mind, the president of Russia is a dictator. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, he controls the media. He is not giving really nice over there, right? Which is why, Biden and a lot of people are pro defending Ukraine, right? Like, we need Ukraine to be good because we don't want what's happening over there to later impact us. So today, Friday the 28th, Volodymyr Zelenskyy showed up to the White House in hopes of, speaking to Donald Trump and kind of being able to settle the dust and explain to him, listen, this is why we need you to continue to support us as Biden did. Another backstory. You guys know when Donald Trump was out in the campaign trail, he said, the reason why all these wars are happening is because Biden is president. He's weak. He's all of this. As soon as I hit the office, these wars are gone. Honey, you've been in office for more than days and the wars are still happening. But anyways, this happened today, honey. Vladimir Zelenskyy came into the Oval Office and he was not playing. He was not trying to play the nice game. And one would think because you are here to get help, you would kind of mince your words, not do too much. Zelenskyy wasn't playing none of that, to the point that after these clips that I'm about to show you, he got kicked out the White House and Trump said, come back when you're trying to talk peace. Let's take a listen to these clips, honey. It was actually wild.
Diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about. What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories. And
a lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
We're
going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very
You
strong.
will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Cards.
Right now, you don't. You're playing
cards.
cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives
of
of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment, and your
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment,
if
you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
except that they're
American people.
Except that
Vice President, I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make. because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do we do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
Listen, one thing about Donald Trump, he does not like to be embarrassed. And Zelenskyy was on him. He told jdvance, hey, we saw him. At least we saw him because we've been asking where this man was. Zelenskyy said, when have you been to Ukraine? And jdvance was, I've seen the stuff. Zelenskyy was not, and Trump was livid. He was so mad that Zelenskyy was not sugarcoating nothing. And I want y'all to know, after this meeting, Trump said, yeah, you gotta go. This was supposed to be a full day of, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it. After Zelenskyy, baby, he stood on business, honey. And so things are about to get shaky because, like I said, the whole point of this was for Zelenskyy to, you know, try to get on Trump's nice side, in a sense, for him to help him. Because at this point, Trump is very much on Russia and Putin's side. And it did not go well. To the point when that lady had a question, he was like, what if a drop bomb, like that? When he said that, he was so out of it. He's like, what if a bomb dropped on your head?
Yo, that part took me out because
what? Mind you, this is the Oval Office. This is supposed to be like presidential, like, you know what I mean? Like, most people, when you know you have cameras out and all of these journalists, they ask like surface level stuff, like, oh, you know, yes, we are going to work together to find a solution. It's supposed to be diplomatic. And the way this was so non-diplomatic, people speaking over each other, President Zelenskyy saying, jdvance, you saying all of this, but you haven't even been to my country, but you talking about diplomacy. You talking about diplomacy, but Putin's the one that has broken prior ceasefire deals. You talking about, like, honestly, the way Zelenskyy acted, I'm like, a lot of Democrats should take notes from him. Because yes, Ukraine is going to suffer. Trump is a very petty dude. And the way Zelenskyy responded, although I think it's very good that he stood his ground, he is going to pay the price. Because I think Donald Trump now is going to be like, since you feel like we not helping you, now we really not going to help you. And this will have consequences in the United States. You might not feel it, you know what I'm saying, right away. But the countries that are supporting Ukraine are also supposed to be, you know, like, I don't know a lot about like other countries, but what I do know is, as a leader, you want other countries to be willing to speak to you and feel comfortable with you and have like good diplomatic relationships with other world leaders. And I feel like ever since Donald Trump stepped foot, world leaders are not messing with Trump. Like, they don't like him. All of these things, like on Tuesday, again, the tariff things are supposed to drop with Canada and Mexico and all of these things that are going to impact us. They are going to impact us. I know this is the Trump that everybody wanted because he's loud and he speaks his mind and he is rah, 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 scary vibes. But all of this comes with consequences. Obviously, Ukraine is going to feel it more because there are in an active war right now and they do need the United States. But if those tariffs eventually do hit and these countries are saying, well, we're going to do reciprocal tariffs. So if you want to charge us, we about to charge y'all. Listen, buckle up, because it's about to be a wild ride, honey.
To your point, I like when I saw this, because like I was downstairs and I was like editing and stuff, and I heard my dad listening to it, and I'm like, ugh, like, why are you listening to this stuff? And it's like, I heard one, like, if you sit there and you believe, like, there's gonna be people who comment and be like, Trump doesn't say that he loves Putin. He just, you know, he's trying to be, you know, be diplomatic and be fair on all sides. You know, there's gonna be those people who believe that, and it's just like, literally at one point of I don't remember, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but once Zelensky started talking about Putin, Trump came to his defense automatically. He said, nah, Putin is not like that type vibe, right? You know, go watch the full thing, and I'm paraphrasing, but you will see for yourself. Zelensky kind of reminds me of me in terms of like, and Shayla tells me this all the time, in terms of like, when you are feeling some type of way, or if I feel like what you're doing to me, I don't like that. I don't care what setting we're in. I'm going to say what I have to say. And Shayla tells me all the times, like, Rebecca, you cannot do that. Like, you have to go into a situation level. Nah, you playing in my face and I'm going to tell you about it. Stop playing with me. Like, so like when I saw that, I was just like, I feel him. Like, sometimes it's like, yes, like you said, Ukraine is going to be impacted, and they are actively having a war in their country right now. And like us as United States, I say United States, as people who live in America, we literally watch these things while sitting on our couches, while eating dinner, not worried about a bomb dropping on our heads, like Trump mentioned. Like we just watch this.
Yeah.
Right. But you have people in those countries who are actively living this. And like, I know some people, like Shayla said, you're going to be like, why should I care? Why should I care? Why should I care? It's like, we have these allies for a reason, because at one point in history, we needed each other. At one point, we could not get along with one another, but we found common ground to, you know, become united. Right. So it's just like, when people talk about make America great, during that time of greatness that y'all like to quote, we were united with a variety of different countries. So now look at us in the position that we're in, where we literally have problems with Canada, we have problems with Mexico, we have problems with Ukraine, and the list gonna keep going and going and going. Where do you think America is going to get great again if we consistently have these problems with people? So when y'all are able to answer me that question for me, then maybe we could progress. But until then, I don't see what y'all seeing, but that's just me.